She was a young mother, a pilot, and a woman with her whole life ahead of her. Kelsey Berreth, just 29 years old, vanished without a trace on Thanksgiving Day 2018 in a quiet mountain town in Colorado. What started as a missing persons case would unravel into a dark conspiracy, a shocking betrayal, and a murder committed by the man she planned to marry. This is the chilling story of Kelsey Berreth and the deadly deception carried out by her fiancé. Kelsey was smart, kind, and driven. Raised in Moses Lake, Washington, she earned her pilot's license and took a job in Colorado with DOS Aviation, where she trained new pilots for the military. In 2016, she met Patrick Frazee, a rancher and horse farrier living in nearby Florissant. Their relationship moved fast, and in 2017 they welcomed a daughter named Kaylee. Though they were engaged, the couple never lived together. Kelsey stayed in Woodland Park and Patrick remained on his family's ranch. To outsiders, it looked like a modern working relationship. But behind the scenes, things were rocky. Kelsey's family noticed Patrick was controlling. He didn't want to set a wedding date, and he avoided spending too much time at her home. Still, no one expected what would happen next. Thanksgiving Day 2018, surveillance cameras at the local Safeway captured Kelsey shopping with her daughter. It would be the last time she was ever seen alive. That afternoon, Patrick claimed he picked up the baby at Kelsey's house. He later told police that Kelsey had broken up with him and needed space, even giving him her engagement ring. Over the next few days, friends received strange text messages from Kelsey's phone. Her employer at DOS Aviation also got a text saying she wouldn't be into work. But her mother, Cheryl, wasn't buying it. She hadn't spoken to Kelsey and something felt very wrong. On December 2, 2018, Cheryl reported her daughter missing. When police entered Kelsey's home, it was eerily undisturbed. Cinnamon rolls were left out. Her purse was missing, but her keys, her makeup, and her ID were still there. Detectives began digging into the last days of Kelsey's life, and quickly red flags appeared. Why hadn't Patrick reported her missing? Why was he so unconcerned? Cell phone data revealed something bizarre. On November 25th, 3 days after she vanished, Kelsey's phone pinged in Gooding, Idaho. That clue led investigators to a new player in the story, Crystal Lee Kenny, a nurse from Twin Falls, and Patrick Frazee's secret girlfriend. When Crystal was brought in for questioning, she cracked. Her confession would blow the case wide open. Crystal admitted Patrick had asked her multiple times to kill Kelsey, first with poison, then with a metal pipe. Each time, she couldn't go through with it. But Patrick, he didn't hesitate. Crystal claimed Patrick told her he killed Kelsey on Thanksgiving Day by bludgeoning her with a baseball bat while their daughter sat in the next room. Afterwards, he called Crystal. He needed her help to clean up the crime scene. She drove 800 miles from Idaho to Colorado, wore a hazmat suit, scrubbed blood off the walls, and collected what was left of Kelsey Berreth's life. Crystal then took Kelsey's phone, drove back to Idaho, and burned it, along with the bloody evidence. Patrick Frazee was arrested in December 2018. He was charged with first-degree murder, solicitation of murder, and tampering with a body. Despite having no body, the prosecution presented a mountain of circumstantial evidence, phone pings, witness testimony, and Crystal's chilling account. In November 2019, after just 3 hours of deliberation, a jury found Patrick Frazee guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus 156 additional years. Crystal Kenny pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison and was released on parole in 2022. Kelsey Berreth's body has never been recovered. Her family continues to search for answers. Today, her daughter lives with Kelsey's parents, surrounded by reminders of a mother she will never remember, but who loved her deeply. Kelsey's story is a reminder that danger doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from the people we trust the most. Like and subscribe to True Crime Record for more investigations. On a quiet April night in 2013, a young mother disappeared from her job at a gas station in Norton Shores, Michigan, leaving behind only a pool of blood and countless unanswered questions. Jessica Heeringa's case would spark a years-long manhunt, drawing in multiple suspects, surveillance footage, and chilling confessions. But it would take years, and another potential victim, for the full horror to come to light. This is the story of Jessica Heeringa and the predator hiding in plain sight. Jessica Heeringa was 25 years old. A devoted mother to her young son and engaged to be married, she was described by friends and family as bright, kind-hearted, and hard-working. She worked late-night shifts at the ExxonMobil gas station on Sternberg Road in Norton Shores, a small lakeside community near Muskegon. Despite concerns from loved ones about working alone late at night, Jessica continued her job. She had plans for the future, but those dreams would be shattered on April 26, 2013. It was just after 11 p.m. on a quiet Friday night. Jessica was nearing the end of her shift. The gas station didn't have security cameras, a detail that would become critical later. A customer arrived around 11:10 p.m. to find the store empty. Jessica's purse, keys, and car were all there, but Jessica was gone. Outside, near the back of the store, a small pool of blood was discovered. Evidence suggested a violent struggle. There were no signs of a robbery. 911 was called at 11:15 p.m., and within minutes, Norton Shores police arrived. The search for Jessica began that night and wouldn't end for years. Detectives combed the scene and interviewed witnesses. Several people reported seeing a silver or gray minivan parked near the gas station shortly before Jessica vanished. A man was seen talking to her, described as a white male, 30 to 40 years old, with broad shoulders and silver hair. A composite sketch was released. Tips flooded in, but without security footage and with few solid leads, the investigation stalled. Authorities questioned numerous persons of interest. Among them, Derek Van Dusen, a man whose van loosely matched the description. He was later cleared. Chris Herringa, Jessica's fiancé, was questioned early on, but had a verified alibi and was not considered a suspect. Local sex offenders were also investigated due to the nature of the crime. Despite national media coverage, the case grew cold. 3 years passed. In July 2016, a woman named Rebecca Bletch was found dead along a rural road just 11 miles from where Jessica vanished. She'd been shot in the head while out for a jog. At first, police didn't connect the two crimes. But what they found on his computer would break the case wide open. Jeffrey Willis seemed like an ordinary guy. But behind closed doors, he was hiding a dark obsession with abduction, murder, and torture. Authorities discovered thousands of disturbing images and videos, a folder labeled VICS, with subfolders for Rebecca Bletch and Jessica Heeringa. GPS data showing Willis had driven past Jessica's gas station the night she vanished. In his van, they found handcuffs, syringes filled with sedatives, and a custom-made rape kit. Investigators now had the link they needed. Although Willis never confessed, the digital evidence, forensic links, and eyewitness testimony began to stack against him. He was charged with the murder of Rebecca Bletch in 2016. At trial, his cousin, Kevin Bloom, agreed to testify. Bloom said Willis had confessed to killing Jessica Heeringa and dumping her body near a cemetery. Bloom led authorities to the supposed site, but no remains were ever found. In 2017, Willis was convicted of Rebecca's murder and sentenced to life in prison. In 2018, he was officially charged with Jessica's kidnapping and murder. Jessica's family finally saw justice begin to unfold. During the 2018 trial, prosecutors laid out a chilling case. Willis had stalked Jessica. He waited for her to be alone, abducted her, and likely killed her shortly after. His digital VICS folder detailed her case. Though Jessica's body has never been found, the jury returned a guilty verdict. Willis was sentenced to life without parole. Kevin Bloom later pleaded guilty to lying to police and was sentenced to time behind bars for his role in covering up the crime. The disappearance and murder of Jessica Heeringa shattered her family and community. While her body has never been recovered, her legacy continues to raise awareness about workplace safety and missing persons. Her mother, April Herringa, continues to advocate for victims and keeps Jessica's memory alive. Jessica's case is a chilling reminder of how predators can hide in plain sight and how one brave survivor led to justice for others. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more in-depth true crime documentaries.